Hey, 5th grade. Sorry about that. Welcome back to another week of online learning. This is our math video. So we've been talking about measurements, and now we're going to talk about time, measuring time. Okay, so if you look on your sheet, it's talking about elapsed time. We're going to go over number 1, 2, 6, and 8. Okay, so I'm going to go over those with you in this video. Now, elapsed time, it's pretty much saying, it's going to give you one of a couple of things. It's either going to say, you went from this time to this time, how much time elapsed? Or it's going to say you started or ended. So like if you look at 5, 6, and 7, it says end time, start time, end time. So it's either going to give you one of those, either the start or the end, and then it's going to give you the time elapsed, and it's going to make you find the other. So for instance, on 5, it says, here's your end time, here's how much time passed, what time did you start? Okay? So we're going to go over all of that. Now, to find elapsed time, when it gives you both of your start and end times, you're going to subtract the end time from the start. You're going to do the end time minus the start time. Okay? So let's take a look at number 1. Number 1 shows us you went from 6:44 p.m. to 11:07 p.m. So to do that, we're going to take our end time, 11:07, 11 hours and 7 minutes, minus our start time, which was 6 hours, 44 minutes. Now, as you can see, I cannot do 7 minus 44. So what we have to do, much like regular subtraction, you're going to have to borrow. So we're going to borrow from our hour, making it 10 hours, and then you're going to convert that 1 hour. So normally, you would convert one place value into 10. You're going to convert your hour into 60 additional minutes for over here. So the same way you can say 11 hours and 7 minutes, another way to say that is 10 hours and 67 minutes, okay? And so it's 10 hours, 67 minutes minus 6 hours, 44 minutes. And we can do that. So 67 minus 44, we've got 7 minus 4 is 3. Oh no, not my marker. Come on. Is 3. 6 minus 4 is 2. So we've got 23 minutes. And 10 minus 6 is 4. So the answer to number 1 is 4 hours and 23 minutes. Okay? I'm going to try seeing if my black wants to work a little bit better. Now, if you look at number 2, we have another problem in addition to not being able to do 15 minus 28. And our problem is our end time, 2:15, is way smaller looking than the 10:28. However, if you notice, one is AM, one is PM, okay? So when they're opposite times, what you can do to the end time is add 12. So what it's pretty much saying, especially for AM to PM, it's saying if I'm in PM, 12 whole hours of my day have already gone by before I hit PM. So I can add that 12 hours to where it says 2:15. That's also known as military time. So if I wanted military time, I would go after 12, it would go 13, 14, 15, all the way through 23 hours and 59 minutes, and then it restarts at 00, which is like the 24th hour. All right? So if I add my 12 hours to this, to make it the opposite time, so even if you had PM to AM, if I had PM, 10:28 PM to 2:15 AM, I could also do that. I could still do 10 and 14 because it's showing the opposite. It's showing either AM versus PM or PM versus AM, either way. So my 2, I add the 12, I've got 14 and still the 15 minutes minus 10:28, but I still can't do 15 minus 28. So we still have to borrow again. Yeah, that's not going to work. Hold on. So we're going to borrow again, making this 13 hours, and this we're going to add 60, so it becomes 75. And now I just do my subtraction. So I'm going to borrow, make it 15. That is 6. 15 minus 8 is 7. 6 minus 2 is 4. And then I have 13 minus 10, which is 3. So number 2, the answer for number 2 is 3 hours, 47 minutes. Make sense? So you guys are going to do 3 and 4 on your own. So again, if you look at 3, it goes PM to AM, so you can still convert, you can still add that 12 hours to the 1:35 a.m., even though it is in a.m., okay? And then for number 4, you don't need to do it. So for number 5, so we're actually going to do number 6, but numbers 5 and 7, you're going to do it the same way. If you have your end time, the way that you do it for if it gives you one and you have to find the other, if it gives you your start time and your elapsed time, you're going to add that to find your end time. But if you have your end time and it gives you your elapsed time, you're going to subtract to find your start time. So numbers 5 and 7, you're going to be subtracting. So it's going to be 5:22 minus 3:38, and then 7 is going to be the end time minus the elapsed time to get you to that beginning time frame. All right, and then 6, we're going to add. So we're going to go 4:45. Oh, so let me write that out better. And just as another note, please make sure you're aware of the AM versus PM. So like number 7 has 1:08 AM, but you're subtracting, so you're probably going to make it PM. All right, so we have 4 hours, 45 minutes in the morning, and the elapsed time was 8 hours and 30 minutes, and we're looking for our end time. So again, if we're looking for the end time, we're going to add, because this is where we start, and we're adding that to find our end time. So we're going to do 45 plus 30, which gives us 75. And 4 plus 8 is 12. Now, we can't leave that like it is. But here's what we know. We know that 1 hour is 60 minutes. So if I subtract 60 from this, it comes out, if I subtract 60, it comes out to be 15 minutes. And that 60 gets added as an hour here. So we have 13 hours, which is also known as 1 p.m. All right, so that's going to be 1:15 p.m. 1:15 p.m. Okay? So if you end up, that's the other thing. If you end up with your hours being over 12, here's what you do. All you do is you subtract 12, which gives us 1. And then you flip whatever time it gave you. So it said 4:45 a.m. We subtracted our 12, and so it came to 1, and it's now 1:15 p.m. So if you have to switch, if you have to subtract 12, you're going to flip if it's a.m. or p.m. Okay? And then we're going to go ahead and look at number 8. So number 7, you're just subtracting. The only thing it does is it adds the seconds, but 1 minute is 60 seconds. So you're going to do it the same way, it just adds seconds into it, okay? All right, so number 8 is 2 hours, 22 minutes, and 50 seconds. Now this one's going to take a few steps for us to get our answer, okay? I'm just going to let you know that, because this is going to be the easiest way to do it. All right. So we're just going to add across. 50 plus 12 is 62. 22 plus 40 is also 62. And 2 plus 1 is 3. Now, as you can see, we can't leave it as 62 seconds and 62 minutes. We can't leave that. So, much like we did before where we were like, hey, that's too many minutes, we're going to convert that to hours. We're going to do the same, but starting from seconds, converting it into minutes. So if I have 62 seconds, I can convert that. I subtract 60. I'm left with 2 seconds. And that gets added here, 63 minutes. I add 1 here. All right, now, and then 3 hours. So now I have, let me rewrite that so it's a little bit neater. So we're still at 3 hours, 63 minutes, and 2 seconds. But I still can't have the 63 there. So we're going to leave the 2 seconds. There's nothing for us to do there. And then I'm going to subtract 60 here. So I'm going to go minus 60 is 3 minutes. And you add 1 here, plus 1 hour, is 4 because you took that 60 and you made it into 1 hour. So our answer for this is 4 minutes, or I'm sorry, 4 hours, 3 minutes, and 2 seconds, okay? So again, for numbers 9 and 10, you are going to just subtract like normal, but again, you just have your seconds that you have to account for as well.